Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is David Hodge, active NGO warrior, representing Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals. This is wartime. Today my topic is going to be about Louis Farrahkan and how he cannot be the son of man. But before I start, I'd like to remind my people about the Holocaust, which is our true experience, but they whitewash it as slavery, which is a insult, which is not our true experience, which is 1% of what we went through, which is the economic side. And the other 99% was complete horror, torment, and misery. So slavery does not cover the full definition or expression of what the black man and woman of America has suffered here in the hands of these devils, these Caucasian people, the slave master, and his children, the terabots, which are the demons from rape of the black woman during the time of the Holocaust. They're half devil, half man. They look like us, act like us, talk like us, walk like us, but they ain't us. They've been intervening and interrupting and destroying our nation. But slavery is not the only thing we went through during this time, brothers and sisters. We know that the word slavery does not cover the full detail of our experience. You can look it up. Slavery is the state of being a slave, the practice or system of owning slaves, a condition compared to that of a slave in respect of exhausting labor or restricted freedom, a condition in which one human being was owned by another. A slave was considered by law as property or chattel, or was deprived of most of the rights ordinarily held by free persons. And you can get further into the definitions with words that express slavery, which still does no justice. You have bondage, enslavement, servitude, subjection. Subjection, thraldom, serfdom. You have enthrallment, yoke, captivity, bonds, chains, feeders, shackles, particular institutions, lack of freedom, lack of liberty. You have drudgery, toil, hard, slog, hard labor, grind, sweated labor, travail, moil. So as you see, none of these words express the full detail or description of what my people went through here in America during the beginning of the Holocaust. It doesn't entail the full detail. It doesn't tell you the oppression, the genocide, the murder, the rape of my people. It doesn't explain all these things. That's why it's not a good definition. And that's why no one understands our experience, or everyone's looking to dumb down our experience, because everyone is slaves nowadays. Because after we were in physical bondage, they were moving from the agriculture slavery to the industrial slavery, which were the plants, the manufacturers, the factories. That's the new updated slavery. They've moved from that field to the industrial age. So anybody working for any of these plants, so-called plants, which were plantations, working for these factories or these industrial fields, like, you got your Walmarts, you got your Targets, you got your JC Penney's, you got these places, you got your Five Belows, these Dollar Trees, you got your McDonald's and Burger Kings and Wendy's and Chick-fil-A's. So anyone working for these institutions are indeed a slave. Modern day slavery. You are suffering from exhausting labors that don't pay you, that don't benefit your life and does not sustain your living. It doesn't. You can't thrive or prevail or win in their system. Their system is built to make their families richer, make the richer rich, make the rich richer, and make the poor poorer. And in the midst of doing this is destroying the poor people. So you're basically not getting paid what you're worth. You're going backwards in life. You're giving them more energy than the money they're paying you. It's just not sustainable. It's not the long-term idea, because you're killing yourself. That's called man-ager. Man-ager. He's aging you by making you work 1,000 calories a week. You giving him 1,000 calories a week of hard work, and he's paying you 200 calories a week. Now you do the math on that, and you see the deficiency. You see the difference between that number. They've given you the idea that money is energy, and they've replaced it with energy. They gave you the illusion that money is energy, but money is it's an illusion of energy. But you're not paying attention because you don't understand mathematics, and mathematics is energy, and that means that you are energy, and your production is energy. So you're wasting your time and energy making these people rich while you get poor and you have poorer health, and you are destroying yourself. You are going backwards in life. So it's just like the time, just like back in the beginning of the Holocaust, when they snatched us up and they started programming our people. Turned us into Negro bots, program niggas. And it got to the point where, they had to feed us. So, their favorite meal, or the thing that they praised the most, was that pig, that filthy pig. So they cut up every inch of that pig, and they would dispose of the intestines. We all know that the intestines hold the poop. So that used to be gunk or trash, or they just throw it away and toss it. It was garbage. So in their mind, they stopped tossing it and started giving it to us. They started giving it to us, and they wouldn't even cook it, or they wouldn't even boil it. Half the time they wouldn't do these things, and they put it in troughs for us to eat out of without utensils or forks or spoons or whatever. But that, you get the idea. So they're giving you the scraps. They're giving you something you don't want. They giving you something that they don't want. They wouldn't want it, but they giving it to you because that's the idea. They had to get work out of you, so they give you the bare minimum. They give you the scraps. They give you the shit, and that's what's taking place today in these industrial fields. It's maximum profit, minimum overhead, meaning they're giving you the bare minimum, and it's not even close to your worth. You're getting paid less than what you're worth, and you don't see the mathematics in it, that you're destroying yourself. You are in self-destruct mode. But that, my people, is just 1% of what my people went through here for 466 years. The other 99% was the Holocaust. It was murder, rape, genocide, oppression, deception, torment, abuse. We were beaten, whipped, exploited, stripped of all knowledge. And then they terrorized our children from the womb. They terrorized our children from the womb. From womb to the grave. They terrorized our children from the womb. Not the children. They terrorized the children. How else do you think we became slaves, people? You have to produce. You have to continue producing a people to make them slaves. They started us off as they terrorized us from the womb. That way they wouldn't have no problem out of us. That way they break that cycle of disobedient, unprogrammed niggas. They did that. That was the process they put us through. That's the 64 years that took us to that's the 64 years it took them to break us into niggas, program Negroes, Negro bots. They snatched us up and brought us here in 1555, and they never broke our people. They had to break the children. Took them 64 years. Took them 64 years to do this process. So they don't put the children's in the public's eye because that's too gruesome. That plays on the worst person. You can be the worst person on earth, but that would alarm you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be the most evilest person ever in not the children. You know, in your mind, you like, not the children. You know, so that would the most sickest person would think you're sicker than them. So they did not put the children on in the public's eye. They didn't publicize the children. They try to whitewash it down as if they were taking care of the children and the children had a different treatment. No, they were treated worse than us. They were treated like that from the womb. So that's all they knew. All they knew was being inferior. All they knew were being animals. All they knew were anything that Massa told them. They didn't have a big vocabulary, vocabulary is what connects your thinking skills, what gives you the ability to communicate. So they were dumbed down to 6 to 10 words just to communicate with Massa to get certain tasks done. But after that, you bet not be caught with a big vocabulary. They cut your tongue out your mouth. So that's what's taking place in the Holocaust. They was tormenting our children. They tormented us. We were the children. So they can cut the crap. So not only did they do these things, they experimented on us without anesthesia. They sodomized us. They castrated us. They dismembered us. They disemboweled us. Dismantled us. They hung us. Starved us. They cut us alive. They cut us open. They peeled us alive. They gutted us. They cooked us alive. Fried, roasted, grilled, boiled us, burnt us alive, made us unrecognizable. People in the plantation and our families couldn't even recognize us. People who knew you good didn't even recognize you. And on top of terrorizing our children, they fed them to gators. They fed our babies to gators. It was a game called Gator Food. They where you think they got the game basketball from? They used to cut our nigga heads off and shoot them in the basket because we were trash to them. We were nothing. These people they treated us like crap. And my people, you don't understand this. Because you lack the knowledge of the truth, because they're whitewashing everything and they've hidden our history from us and gave us their history. That's why they on television. Anybody on television is telling their vision. They're giving you the American whitewash version of everything. And nowadays they're just now speaking against themselves, which is critical race theory, but it was nothing theoretical about what took place with us. So they again trying to discredit us and trying to dumb down what dumb down our experience and make it as something spooky, as something coulda, mighta happened. We don't know. We don't know if it was accurate or this and that. No, we have all the facts, and so do you. You know what happened. That's not the right name for it. But yeah, sure. You know, what you're saying is to be true, but the title is all wrong. Call it the true history of America. So that's the Holocaust. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Assalamu alaikum, son. Today my presentation is going to be Farrahkan is not the son of man. Okay. So as you know, Farrahkan and his clowns and the NOI and all his demons and the devils he be bringing into the NOI, which is unacceptable. This man, this black, so-called black man, but we know that he's Caucasian and black skin, is claiming to be the Messiah. So in order to be the Messiah, that means that you must be Jesus or Joshua. And in order to be Jesus or Joshua, you had to fit the same shoe as Suleiman. So I mean, you would have to be the Son of Man, which Suleiman is Latin for the Son of Man, which means the Son of God. So that means you claim to be the Messiah, right? And last time I checked, the Messiah was Jesus, right? The Son of God. So you would have to meet the description of the Son of Man to be him, right? So this is what Farrahkan is claiming. Farrahkan is claiming to be exactly just that. You know, he claims to be a lot of things in the scriptures that he's not, but all the things that he is, he denounces, or he doesn't admit. Or I mean, he claims to be Aaron, but he never finishes the sentence, or he never finishes the whole paragraph for Aaron, or he never finishes the whole story, is what I'm saying. Like, he claimed all the certain parts of Aaron, but he never get to the end where he had all his followers slaughtered, and he had them worship. He had them going against Allah. He had them going against the scriptures. He had them going against the messenger. He was going against the teachings, and he had them worshiping the golden calf, which is Sunniism. And he got all his followers slaughtered in the end. So he, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he claims to be a lot of things, but he accept what he truly is. So we're gonna break that down today. So he claims to be the Son of Man. So we know first of all, to be the Son of Man, you have to have let's speak about the characteristics of the Son of Man. In order to be the Son of Man, you have to have white, gray, woolly hair. So you have to have that nappy hair. You have to have that type of hair texture, which would be proof of who you are. So we know that Farrahkan, he might have somewhat of white or gray hair, but his hair isn't woolly. He has straight hair. So that right there that disqualifies you just on its own. Just you would need a hair transplant, sir. So, and then the next would be his eyesight. The Son of Man's eyesight would never dim. Would never be dimmed, even in old age. And last time we checked here, Farrahkan has been wearing glasses all his life. It says that the Son of Man would have great vision. So, hey man, you just keep failing in being the Son of Man already, because so many more qualifications, but you've already been disqualified, as you can see.